Hi, it's Ms. Parrott, and this is a quick rundown of the instructions for your Thanksgiving assignment and an example. I'm going to walk you through and show you exactly what I want on each slide. So you're going to make a Google slide, and you're going to a slide presentation, and you're going to do a screencast over it. You can include your face or not. I didn't, so I had plenty of room for diagrams. So the things you need to include on your title page are, of course, the ecology of whatever organism you choose. So you can do this project on any living thing you want. It doesn't have to be an animal. So I'm doing mine on the North American wild turkey. There's a nice picture, and I have the scientific name here, Meleagris gallopavo or Gaiapavo, however you would like to pronounce it, and my name. The first slide is about the habitat and range of my organism. So my organism, the range is the eastern part of the U.S., the eastern and southern parts of the U.S., and even down, there are subspecies that live all the way down in Mexico. Within this range, they really, their particular habitat is in meadows and also in the undergrowth of coniferous forest and hardwood forest. So they roost or sleep up in the trees, and they nest down in the shrubbery underneath the trees. They're an important part of the forest ecosystem. Their food sources include nuts from those hardwood trees, insects, and even have been known to eat little salamanders and lizards, so this makes them omnivorous. This is a picture of the mother hen, and then the little babies are called poults, P-O-U-L-T, kind of like poultry. All right, and these are their eggs. Again, they nest on the ground. Their predators there are very many coyotes, wolves. Here we have a great horned owl. They're also attacked by red-tailed hawks. This is a gopher snake. So all these like to eat the little babies. And then the eggs are often eaten by rodents like gophers. They can also be eaten by raccoons, and here I have skunks eating them. Wild turkeys have special adaptations for survival and reproduction in their habitat, and I've got a few of them here. So what you need to do, the instructions, you need to choose at least 3, and they need to include both survival and reproduction. Okay, so in my turkey, I have the big tail feathers. Okay, these serve 2 functions. One, to attract mates, and then also to sort of make them look bigger and be intimidating to predators. Then there's this really weird thing called a wattle. So these are fleshy flaps of skin on the neck area, and they are actually for attracting mates as well. So there are gene links between the immune system genes and the genes that make the size of this wattle. So depending on its size, it may speak to the health of the organism. Also, higher testosterone levels have been found in males with a redder wattle. Finally, wild turkeys have these big spurs. Now, females do not have these, males do. So these are on the back of their feet, and they're very large and very dangerous. So predators, if they're not careful, can get stabbed. And so can people. Okay, the next 3 slides are all about symbiotic relationships. So turkeys are in a parasitic relationship with these things called gapeworms. Now, they look like a Y. They look forked, but actually, this big fat part is the female, and this smaller little 1/4 inch piece is actually the male, and they are in a constantly copulating situation. They're copulating all the time, so they look like a Y. They're called a gapeworm because they make, now I realize this is a chicken, but it affects the turkey in the same way. they start to build up and grow in the trachea of the animal. And because they do that, the animals are always having to hold their mouth open to try and breathe and gulp down air. Gapeworm is really dangerous and can result in choking or even suffocation, which would result in death. Don't forget, a parasitism is a symbiotic relationship in which one organism is benefited and the other one is harmed. This is not the same as a predator-prey, right? A gapeworm is not eating a turkey, right? A gapeworm is using the turkey as a host, and the turkey is being harmed. It's not going to end up eating. It's not like, gapeworm, I love turkeys for dinner. So just be sure that you're using the right things for parasitism. The next thing, the next symbiotic relationship is commensalism. Remember that commensalisms are symbiotic relationships in which one organism is benefited and the other is neither helped nor harmed. So in this example, I've got human farmers are the ones that are neither helped nor harmed, and of course our wild turkeys. So after fields have been harvested, so this field is a grain field, it had already been harvested, it's in the winter. The turkeys go through, and any little leftover grains that are around, they peck those and can eat them. The last symbiotic relationship is mutualism. Mutualism is a symbiotic relationship in which both organisms benefit from each other. And so wild turkeys are in a mutualistic relationship with white-tailed deer. And white-tailed deer have an extremely fantastic sense of smell, and turkeys actually have very sharp eyesight. So they work together to recognize if predators are around and alert one another if a predator is present so that they can get away. Limiting factors are things that reduce or control the population of an ecosystem. So what I want you to do is give me at least 3 limiting factors, but you need to explain them. Okay, so for instance, deforestation is a limiting factor on wild turkey population. Why? Because turkeys depend on forests for, they roost in the trees, so they need it as a place to sleep and be protected. They nest in the undershrubs of the trees, so they need that to have safe nesting sites. So deforestation causes habitat loss, which can disrupt the growth of the population. Extreme rainfall can affect wild turkey populations because since they nest on the ground, extreme rainfall can make the ground soggy. It can even flood, which of course will disrupt the nests of the turkeys. And then finally, poaching can influence the population of wild turkeys. Note, poaching is not the same as hunting, right? There are legal times of the year that hunters can get a license and kill X number of turkeys, and that's fine. Poaching is when they hunt turkeys at an unlicensed time of year, and that's usually the times of year when mating is occurring and when eggs are being hatched. So the government and states don't want you hunting organisms at those times so that the populations can grow in a healthy way. And hunting is okay, and it can be used to control populations safely. Finally, fun fact, right? It's always good to have something just random and not that educational, maybe educational, but not like super strict to the curriculum guide. And so you can have more than one fun fact, but it actually needs to be fun, not lame, not just generic. Because, like, for instance, the wild turkey, Benjamin Franklin wanted the wild turkey to be our state or our country bird, our national bird, instead of the bald eagle. Okay, I feel like everybody knows that, so, and it's not that exciting. However, fun fact, you can tell the difference between a male and a female not only by their feathers and coloration, but by their poop shape. So males have, which are called gobblers, have these kind of straight or J-shaped poops, while hens, the females, have more spirally shaped poops. That is neat. So these are the simple things. I'll tell you right now, it took me, Miss Parrot, who knew exactly what she was looking for, 3 hours to find everything, put it together, be sure it was legit, and do the screencast. So if it took me 3 hours, then it's probably going to take you 4 or 5 hours. It needs to be good. If you're having a really hard time finding stuff for your organism, change your organism. Alright? And then finally, you need a slide with your citations on it. And you can have as many as you want. There's no way you're going to find everything you need on Wikipedia. So, but also be sure you're not finding information from some 5th graders, like homework project. All right. That is the assignment. It's going to be good. I'm interested to see what you come up with. And happy Thanksgiving.